want to our our meetings are recorded. I will upload the meetings after our meeting onto YouTube, but it's going to be unlisted. I'll share the link with you, so it's not required, but you can choose if you want to review our meeting.
嗯
Yeah, I'm excited to start this journey with you.
，me too。
Sorry, you said 河南哪里啊？
嗯，濮阳，
濮阳是不是在南边一点？
我在北边，就是山东那一线儿上。
哦，OK，
嗯
我姥姥家是啊、庆阳，庆阳靠的近一点的那个城市叫什么来着？反正在郑州的北边，但是靠
啊
山西比较近。
啊
嗯哼，can't think of it. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Um, do we need to like introduce in English or in Mandarin or both are fine?
Both are fine, but I okay. We can talk about this.
嗯
你随便你现在，
，OK，我都行，因为我和那个思阳，然后我们两个是在课堂上认识的，然后就是当我们就是 go over 那个 script 的时候，然后因为我们两个很多客户都是 speak Mandarin，所
OK，
以就是当我们就是 go over 那个 script 的时候，发现有一些地方其实用中文表达很怪啊like what does it say about you? Like in Chinese, it's just like 说明你是一个什么样的人呢？It's just very
yeah,
weird to ask. And
yeah,
then it's also like that's very one typical script part that's particularly difficult. And 包括其他地方，然后就一旦翻译成 Mandarin，然后就会感觉很怪，并且有点生硬。包括说 Yes, go with that, go with that. It's easy to understand in English, but 就是到了中文的部分也是就是
yeah.
有一点卡，然后所以我们两个就想说，就很希望能找一个 Chinese 就是 instructor，然后这样的话，包括我们就是跟客户沟通，然后包括说 script，就是我们很想向您学习一下，就是到底怎么样，然后我们才能算是就是比较 natural 的，就是 go through，然后又不是因为在这个过程中，很多如果你的语言很怪的话，然后你自己也觉得很怪，其实你的客户也会觉得很怪，然后就会卡在那里啊，然后 sorry 有一点点有一
没
点点，
关系。就是
然后
你为什么来这里？为什么要对
对，我
要我
我
们来
我，对，我和思阳，然后我
了解？
们两个也是，就是自己，我们也尝试了翻译，然后但是我们也还是很想说去找，经验丰富的，然后就是看有没有这个 Chinese practicer，然后这样子，就是 back to self introduction，然后我姓李，叫琳琳，然后但是叫我叫 Lyla 就好了，然后我是现在在加拿大，
玲玲还是丽丽？
琳琳一个王两个木。
啊，玲玲，玲玲，
嗯，对，然后叫我 Lyla 就行。然后我现在是在加拿大的多伦多，然后我是19年来的，然后作为 PR 然后登陆的。然后在那之前，我是在医院里面，然后就待的，然后但是没有待很长时间。我是在英国那边，我本科是学的中医，然后英国那边读的是 Cancer Oncology，就是癌症研究。完了又在国内中科院的，就是上海中科院上班。就是虽然我老家是河南的，但是我已经落户上海了。然后我在上海待了大概10年，然后，然后之后又去中科院完了之后又去药企那边待了，就在药企那边上班。完了，后面就是我的那个资料，然后就转到医院里面。然后我在医院里面又从内科转到了精神科， 然后在国内拿的是那个心理治疗师的那个卫健委的证，然后我现在在医院是停薪留职，因为有一些医院他是不想让你走嘛，然后他想让你把那个 license 放在那里，然后所以就是我是可以 legally 还是可以就是接病人的这样一个状态。
国内的病人
对国内的病人，然后
？OK，
因为也有那个治疗师的证嘛，然后我在加拿大这边因为不想再 go over 所有的这个
嗯哼
medical school 什么的，所以我在这边是做了那个hypnotherapist，然后就
，OK。
是催眠师，然后今年又做了这个 EMDR，然后现在也是就是做那个自己接这种心理咨询的客户。
那你在加拿大的 license 是什么呢？
加拿大其实我没有就是 legally 的这个 license，
psychotherapy 的啊，
对对对，但是我的 psychotherapy 的 license 就是 valid in China，然后因为
那
除了
你都接的是中国的客户吗？
对对，所以我的客户都是 Chinese，然后或者是都是 Mandarin，然后要么就是国内的，要么就是国外的，然后全部都是 Chinese，啊、就是因为
对，
对，因为医师资格证和psycho therapy 的那个 Chinese license 都是 valid 的，
嗯哼，
所以是从这就是这样一个
对
状态。
对，legal 的是比较限制。
嗯，就是我就是这样一个情况。
那你是什么时候通过的这个 EMDR 的培训呢？
我们上个月吧。
哦，OK，所以就是马上就要求要做 certification 了。
对，
OK，take
嗯
advantage of that discount. It's a lot.
嗯
Yeah. What about you, Xiang?
好，那我也姓李，叫思阳，思想的思，飞扬的扬，就叫我思阳就好了。
飞扬
然后
是
就
羊
手字旁，
哦，这个扬手，
手艺，
是吗？手字旁，提手
就是
旁，
提手旁，对对，
提手旁那边是羊，OK，我知道了。
嗯然后我来自香港，然后我的本科念的是心理学，然后练心理学之后呢，在大学里面做了一段时间的研究的工作，然后之后大概18年的时候到了纽约念戏剧治疗，然后所以我之后一直在practice 的就是戏剧治疗，然后我20年毕业之后呢，就回香港，一直做 private practice，就有个人的客户，然后也有跟机构合作做小组的工作，
OK，
大概在23年的时候来的加拿大，我现在在加拿大一个叫 Perth 的小镇里面，是跟渥太华比较近的，
啊
也跟 Lyla 不远，大概4个小时吧，的车程就到了。
，I have
然
cousins
后
in Ottawa area, and we always stop at Toronto. So we're thinking about going to visit them during Chinese New Year or right after Chinese New Year. Yeah, trying to make it a tradition. Yeah, cool.
都很近，
Yeah.
然后我现在除了 private practice 之外呢，我也在一个机构里面工作，我是做 single session 的 counselor，
Okay.
是在线上就电话的 single session，然后也有 chat 的，然后我的private practice 呢有这里加拿大的 client，然后也有在香港继续见的 client。
Okay.
然后我的 client 主要就3语都会说，就 Cantonese，广东话、普通话， 然后英语也会有。所以就也跟刚才莱尔说的，就本来那个 script 在 English speaking 的client可以用的就比较顺畅，但是在讲普通话或者是广东话的时候呢，我们自己翻译就觉得有点卡，然后有时候client 的 feedback 就会觉得啊，我不太明白，其实那个地方是在问些什么。所以就也会希望有就经验丰富的老师来带领一下我们，就走这个过程，就想知道一下就究竟这个过程是怎么能够把它做得很顺畅，然后在 Chinese speaking 的 client 里面呢，可能那个经验会怎么样，他们对于一些名词的反应是怎么样，就毕竟可能 Chinese speaking 的 client 他们对于自己内在情绪的了解可能跟 English speaking 的 culturally 有些不一样。对，所以就在这方面也是想了解多一点。
Okay, yeah, thank you. 其实我能给你们分享的说语言的翻译，我也觉得惭愧，是从经过了培训，然后在这边一直做。我中文的客户真的很说中文的客户极少，确实有，我也用这个 model， 但是确实是很少。但是我之前也接过一个这个 consultation group， 也是2个中国来的，都有提到过要把这个东西翻译成中文。特别是这个 safe model 的这一套东西，就是我之前刚刚培训完 EMDR 的时候，有去网上找过，去 MGR 的网上去找他的 Asia 那个Hong Kong 应该是有，香港有一些比较活跃的 EMDR 的组织，但是大陆几乎是就是可能有，但是没有什么我没有找到很活跃的，没有这个 safe EMDR 的 presence。然后我想找已经有人翻译过的 basic protocol、standard protocol 的这个，起码是 phases 3 to 7，也没有找到。然后想过说自己是我来去翻，但是也没有真正的去坐下来去做这个翻译的工作。但是发现我的体会是什么呢？First of all, I didn't need that. Most of my clients are English speaking. And once you really get the model and you are really present with the client, words and language just come to you. 就是你当下你真的是跟客户是那个连接是在那个当下的，这些 script 上面说的文字或者什么都不是很重要啊，就是我觉得你们可能自己在 practice 的时候也有过这样子的，有的时候这个情感和这个connection 到这个地方自然流露就出来了。所以我觉得惭愧的是我没有这样已经做过翻译，没有很多的这个中文的客户可以跟你们分享但是我觉得first of all I can help you to really get the model. Then we can work together. If you want to translate and bring it here and send it to me, and 我们来推敲一些语言和哪些地方可以跳出这个 script 这个格子一些。It is the whole psychotherapy concept. This is westernized. It's based on the Western philosophy, Western individualistic culture. It's completely different, right? We Eastern people, we don't talk about me and and how I feel all day long. We are so community oriented. How do other people think about me, or so there is some fundamental differences because of this. All this psychotherapy models, these we are using, mostly are from the Western world. But I'm glad to hear that, Lyla, you have traditional Chinese medicine background. But for the safe model to work, for the EMDR to work with especially complex clients, mindfulness, one of the key principles you've learned, mindfulness, human connection, right? These key principles we can all trace back or find similarity in the ancient Eastern culture too. Fundamentally, like we're being here, being present, not so attached to the past or the future, or just when we can work through the past and grieve whatever we didn't get or what we got too much, then we can be fully present and accept the present, then embrace the future. So a lot of these the key principles or the advanced skills, not necessarily techniques, like you have to embody this kind of presence with your clients. Then in those moments, words don't matter anymore, and you have the liberty, you have the freedom to work with your client in the moment, find whatever words that works to facilitate the healing process. Does it still sound like there's value for you to continue this consultation with me?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a mix of science and art. And the art part is just coming back to being human, being bear witness, holding space. 就是我就是一个陪伴的过程，陪伴和见证的过程。我没有办法让任何事情发生，对吧？We will get to this a lot in the coming months. Okay. Any questions about all the emails I sent out? The structure of the 10 months, our meeting schedule. Don't worry, if you come up with questions, you can always email me. If you don't have any.
I have a question about like what might be things that we need to expect or prepare in the coming meetings.
Yeah.
Because it seems there might be, I'm not sure I'm understanding it correctly. So it seems there might be like a schedule for things to discuss or talk about in each meeting.
We have a framework. We don't have a schedule. Really based on where you are. Each practice you bring in and we review, and by the end of the meeting, I will give you assignment for the next week. It mimics 就是模拟跟一个 real client 这个治疗过程，但是but it may I may ask you to repeat something. I may add some faces, so you really get it. We get plenty of opportunities to review and fine tune. Does that make sense? So the first question now, or right now, is to decide, for you to decide, if you want to practice with each other, or if you have a client or someone you want to use as your client to practice and bring videos and demonstrate your competency throughout this process. For me, when I went through the certification process, I practiced with my partner. We just pretend each other, we were the client, and just like in training, and we meet once a month before our consultation training and do our practice, get it recorded, and after that we review the transcript and we reflect on that. Then we send to the consultant before the meeting, and then the consultant get time to review it. That's why I asked you to submit your assignment and transcript and reflection form 4 days before our meeting, as much as you can. Life happens. If you send in 3 days, 2 days, and we'll still make it work. So first thing is decide if you want to practice with each other, or do you have someone in mind you would like to do the practice.
I'm not sure if I got this right. So when you say like a client, that means like I will still be practicing with the Xiang, but I will pretend to be one of my clients. Like,
No, you use the real material. So either way, we want you to either you practice with Xiang, then you will be Xiang's client, Xiang will be your client. And I review, like you as the therapist, you bring in your portion of the practice. And you can say, okay, 50 minutes or an hour, we stop. You start recording. You are the therapist. You record your portion of the practice. And you sent me, the therapist sent me their practice and sent me their reflection of the practice and the script and the review of that. On top of this, as we get into more of you doing this process, if you have another client that you are thinking about, you would like to get some feedback on, you can also bring that. But it's within the 2 hours. That these 2 hours, 1 hour is considered group for you, a group of 2. Another hour is mostly for you. So we try to evenly divide that time so for one person to review whatever material you bring in, either the practice or a case consultation, or maybe we can fit in both during some meetings.
and we will practice with each other.
Are you both okay? Yeah. Okay. I think that's the best way. You get to communicate and practice and get your personal work done. This model, it's always back to us, the therapist. Yeah. Okay. So I will leave it to you that you give each other consent to record and share the content with me. I'm not getting into that, but you each have each other's consent. Then we will always take a break around an hour mark, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then the 2 hours, the meeting continue. Okay. For today, the practice is just like I would start with a new client. We do self-introduction, get to know a little bit why you're here, and I will do the answer. with the client. And we make some predictions. With the client, I'm looking for what what they are good at, what they are underdeveloped, and some of their patterns, and how or if they might show up later in our work together when they are going towards pain, when we're bringing up some big, not big, but just we are getting into the phases 3 to 7 work. Because when we are close to pain, our answers always show up. If we do this prediction beforehand, put it on the table instead of 就是大家到时候突然被 surprised 或者是 feel like it's a block. Now we get to put it on the table explicitly 说明了，对吧？然后 when that happens, okay, I wonder if this is one of your helper, one of your answers showing up to help. Then that can go smoothly. So in this setting, we are going to take turns. We can do whatever. 玲玲，我来跟你，或者你来跟思阳，然后思阳跟我。And we get to practice to the answer, basically the answer questionnaire. And if we have time, we can use either the character types or the arrows to like wonder about each other's answers. Be curious. And then we make some predictions. We are all human beings, and this process, 10 months of process, while you are still dealing with your life and life happens, it can get stressful, and make some predictions, what kind of your answer might be showing up, or my answer might be showing up. That's all we need to accomplish for today. And before the end of today's meeting, I will give you the assignment for your first practice. So basically, outside of our meetings, ideally you want to meet for about 2 hours, one practice with the other, then switch and get your recordings, like pretend that's a real one session. Then some extra time to review your own work, reflect, sort out the transcript. Then you send it to me before our consultation meeting. So then during our consultation meeting, we'll start always with the mindfulness, then a little check-in. Then we go into one person's review of what you want to get feedback on. Or if I got a chance to review ahead of time, if I have questions for you. Or I said, can you drag the video to this point and let's look at this area a little in depth. Sounds like a little more clear. Okay.
But before everything, can I ask like several questions?
Yeah, please.
Well, the first is regarding to the SAFE model, because I don't know about Xi'an, but me, I started with the SAFE model. This the only model that I know of. And I don't know what is the original one, and like how many models are there? Like which one is mostly used? So I just don't know.
Great question. Great question. Who was your trainer?
Wanda.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So like you signed your contract. In your contract, you are also required to, as part of this package, you got access to that 12-hour online on-demand class offered by Deb, right? So that's additional one. Another requirement is to finish reading Dr. Francine Shapiro's book, the 2018 EMDR book. That's like the textbook for everyone going through EMDR. And that textbook is what Dr. Francine developed in the early 90s, end of 80s, and beginning of 90s. And that's what we refer to as basic standard protocol. And most other trainings would teach all that. Maybe they add something here and there. But I will say, think about the computer systems you used in the 90s, like Windows 95, 98, all that. The basic model, the standard model is powerful as it is, yet the way to get to the targets and to work with blocks was very limited. The standard protocol, if you read the book, Dr. Francine recommends the safe and calm place, or one or two resources, then that's it. You try to get a list of the 10 most disturbing memories or nightmares, and then you use those as target and try to hope you get to the root. Right? Some clients don't remember things. Some clients, they remember the 10 most disturbing. They are not necessarily the real root. So SAFE model was developed after Deb has been training and doing consultations, seeing people get stuck with clients, get blocked with clients. And then she became more and more clear that we all have our answers. The clinicians have our own answers. Try to manage stress, try to be okay and stay safe and connected. And the client's answers, and we get tangled up. So she develops this concept to really help us to get to the experiential， 就是真的是最直接的最早的根源。So the answer concept, the expanded resource, different categories of groups of resources we offer, and this way of you choose what resource to work on based on your understanding of the client's answer. Different client, it's a tailor-made process. And the key principles, present moment mindfulness, compassionate assumption, healthy boundaries, nonviolence. These key, this is all a whole upgrade of based on the standard protocol that made SAFE protocol. That just think of it, it's the current computer system you get to work on. The system has upgraded, and once you really get the key principles, it can continue to evolve because you are going to continue to embody these principles, these tools. So it makes standard protocol a lot more applicable to even complex cases. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And I have another question. Like
But
you
do,
mentioned,
I do want to remind you to start reading the book and start reviewing that online course.
yeah, Liz, you just mentioned that you tried to reach out to like Asia, Andrea part, and then so I was just wondering how is Asia Andrea is doing now? Like, are they adapt the safe
Sure.
mode?
No, I don't think there is presence of a safe model. It'll be up to us maybe one day to bring it to that part of the world. But there are in activities. There are activities of just EMDR trainings and practices going on in Asia. I'm not, yeah, there's some in China, but I'm very limited. I'm not too familiar with the current status.
Okay. I think the rest of my questions are more like very personal clients oriented. I have like I'm sorry, I don't want to take too much of time, just three. Like I encounter clients that kept complaining about feeling sleepy, like during the process. And this and her eyes, like she said, like she feels there's a resistance in her eyes that her eyes don't want to move anymore. So I just want to know, like, if that's kind of dissociation. And the second question is like, also the client, like last week, she contacted me, like she said there are more memories, like just merging up in between sessions, and she's very worried. But I checked with her, like she said the disturbance score is just around like 1 or 2. It's not like very serious issues that she can't bear. It's bearable, but still she said it's like bubbling up. So
That's,
I
it's
told her
like the
it's
nervous
more.
system is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
activated.
Yeah, so those two questions, like,
I'm not going to get into these questions right now because I do want to get to our practice.
okay.
Yes. The answer is the first step of our practice. If we have some time at the end, we can come back to that. But also, just quickly, you have 3 modes of bilateral stimulation you can use. Eye movement is just one of them. Tactile,
Yeah.
sound, auditory.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know if your trainer gave you the tool or showed you bilateralstimulation.io. This is the on-string tool I use, and actually my previous consultee helped them to translate it to Chinese. So it's available in Chinese. All the tutorials has Chinese subtitles now. Yeah, check that out.
But I don't have no more questions. Thank you.
Okay, keep them. We will get to them, right? Yeah. So I'm looking at the time, 9:40. We can maybe do one answer, then we take a break, and then we come back, we do 2 more. And we do some, yeah, predictions together. So who would like to go? Or you can say, I don't, and I want you to do model it first. Then I can do it.
That's it gonna be the same that we did in class?
Yep. The same answer sheet, but it's
I need to find that to open it.
okay. Take a moment. I'm gonna find mine too. Well, actually, I have. I always have my binder. My worksheet is here if one of you wants to go first with me.
I can go.
Perfect. So I'm gonna pin you just like during the training so we get to see each other. Oops, I pinned myself. I want to pin you. Actually, I'm going to pin both. So this way, when you review the recording, you can see both. So that's another thing when you practice with each other. I know normally with clients, you want to make the clients big. You don't necessarily want to see yourself that big, but for the purpose of this consultation process, I want you to ping each other. So both of you are on the screen during the recording. And then when I review, I could see the client's affect and your both. Make sense? Okay, so Yeung, I'm gonna use the English, but feel free to elaborate in Chinese or ask questions and so on. We can start with the English question, but whatever is most authentic, natural for you, language-wise, that's all good. All right. So the first thing or exercise we're gonna do is called the answer. I often just let people know the answer, we call it, is you can think of it as just the way you do life. We all have our own way of doing life, handling stress, dealing with people, dealing with conflict or whatever. So this exercise will help us to kind of understand your what you're good at, what might be underdeveloped a little better, and this will help us be more prepared going into the work. So if you can just sit back, there's no right or wrong, whatever comes to your mind, just give me your answers. Okay. It might be helpful to think of the times that you are not necessarily at your best. You're just reacting or whatever in the natural way of comes to mind. Okay. What are you most proud of?
I'm proud of my perseverance.
What's difficult for you?
It's difficult for me to take criticisms and also to show my weakness sometimes.
What do you do when you are under stress?
I usually go for a walk to run a little bit, just move my body a bit, take some shower, talk with my partner, to sing a little bit. Yeah.
How do you handle extreme pressure?
When it's under extreme pressure, I usually find myself hard to go to sleep. Think a lot, like ruminate a lot, and tend to first handle the issue and then take care of my emotions.
Okay. How are you with deadlines?
I'm getting better. Before, I usually kind of is a deadline fighter. I just completed right near the deadline. But currently, I usually finish it well before the deadline so that I can have time to review and to not stress myself out.
Great. How do you get your way or get what you want?
Usually, if people don't really kind of say no or don't really want to do something, I usually leave it. There's not much thing that I want so much that I need to kind of push others to do that. I was just maybe, if that's really what I want, I would push once or twice, kind of as like ask a little bit more, know what might be the reason of saying that's not okay. And if that's still not going to work, then I would just see like either change my expectations or just self-care, just take care of myself, my needs. Yeah.
Is it easy for you to say no?
It's getting better. Not very easy. It's easier than before though.
Do you cry easily?
Yes.
What do you do when you are upset?
It's similar with when I was stressed. So I move my body, I listen to music, sing, talk with my partner, like ask her to give me a hug. Yeah. Oh, and talk with my families too.
Okay. Do you cry in front of others?
Yeah.
Would you call yourself a rule follower?
Sometimes. If it's unreasonable rules, I can be quite rebellious.
How do you deal with conflict?
I tend to avoid conflicts. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with conflicts.
In an emergency situation, what are you likely to do?
I will assess, like, am I being safe? Is someone near us is safe? What can we do? If it's possible, get away from the emergency situation. Yeah, to connect with people I love.
Is it easy for you to ask for help?
It's easier than before. Is it easy for now? I think I can say it's easy for me to ask for help now.
Was it hard in the past?
Yes, it's hard in the past.
Is it difficult for you to accept help?
Yes.
How convincing are you?
I don't like to convince because I feel like I'm getting people to do things that they might not want to or they don't feel they need to. So I tend not to convince. I can be very convincing, but I just don't like to use them.
What are you likely to do when someone tells you no?
We usually talk with them a little bit to understand why. Is there anything I can do that to make it a yes, or like kind of like partially a yes, like kind of changing the goals or the target, changing what we are doing, kind of compromise a little bit.
Last one. How do you handle negative criticism or feedback?
Not really well. I would blame myself quite a lot. And then I find it's getting better in a way that in the past I would only drill on it and avoid looking at it so that I won't feel so painful emotionally. Right now, I still blame myself. And what's getting better, I notice, is that after a while, I'm able to look at it again to see what might be things that I can improve or grow from criticism, or if it's just nonsense.
Okay, that's all the questions I have for now. I'm gonna take a moment to look for patterns and then I'll make some guesses. Okay. I'm gonna make some guesses, but they're really just guesses. I would love for you to stop me, say this is not me, or expand on something. Yeah, disagree or expand or contribute to more. It sounds like you are really good at thinking, using your intelligence, logic to understand things, understand yourself, understand what others need or want. So thinking and figuring out solution. Does that sound like you?
Yeah.
Also sounds like you are very good at adapting or continue to grow. You mentioned perseverance, self-improvement, and you pride yourself on perseverance, right? And if only you sounds like if only you knew how to be better, you will continue to go towards that. You're very good at. Yeah. Okay. Also, sounds like you are good at understanding or reading what other people want, and give them what they want. So you are quite a person or a considerate or sensitive person to other people's needs and wants. No wonder you found your way in psychology and this helping profession, right? And also you sound like you're pretty good at taking a pause and reflecting and again trying to figure out what else you can do or how to solve or resolve some problem, putting like you like compared to some other people react on their emotions or impulses and push back or lash out. You are more like going inward, looking for resources, solutions within you, or also carrying responsibilities on you yourself. Does that sound like accurate? You're also good at being quite flexible or accommodating to others and not imposing yourself or what you want onto others.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would rather adjust, change your expectation or than pushing your agenda onto others.
Yeah.
You're also good at, you named it avoiding conflict, but I'm gathering the overdeveloped is to holding everything at peace or keeping peace, keeping harmony. That's maybe the flip side. All right. Then we're gonna go towards, or anything to add to that. It's always the two sides of the same coin, right? You're so good at these areas, then the flip side, underdevelopment. Sounds like it's difficult for you to feel strongly about what you want and what you need and prioritize your wants and needs and demand.
Yeah, I think relatively it's harder for me to do that. It's easier than before, but it's still hard.
Okay, yeah. Compared to the thinking, it's harder or maybe difficult for you to let go of solutions or thinking, just being with the messy feelings, being with the whether it's conflict, tension, messy stuff, uncomfortable stuff.
I'm actually quite good at being with messy feelings, like overwhelming feelings. I tend to indulge sometimes in like overwhelming feelings or hard feelings. so that I make sure I can feel those feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
No, thank you. Sounds like it's related, or sounds to me it's related to that self improvement. Almost you learn this is a good thing to feel, and you're good at pushing yourself to do things even you're not comfortable with.
yeah,
If other
it
people
is.
expect you to do it, or you think that's the right thing to do, you're good at putting yourself out there.
Yeah. So I think the bad side of it, or the like flip side of that, is sometimes I will overwhelm myself easily,
Ah,
to the point where I didn't expect something to be so overwhelming, but then it turns out to be very overwhelming.
good. Right. It sounds like it's difficult for you to kind of follow your body or your systems into to understand the limit.
Yeah. There's a delay in my feeling of my limits. Usually I don't feel I'm stressed, but my body is telling me that I'm really stressed.
Okay.
But I can't really feel it.
Yeah. So it's difficult to feel it in real time, to stay connected to your feelings and body in real time, and honor the signals and limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we also, you already named that you're so good at pushing yourself and blame self in the past, and less now, but then it's difficult for you to cut yourself a little slack, give yourself a break. I'm doing good enough. I'm having a hard time. The self compassion, taking breaks, taking rest. I'm good enough for now. Pause. And taking credit, maybe. I've done enough for today or for this year.
Yeah. I was actually start blaming myself of watching some drama or TV shows yesterday. It was my break day. And I feel a lot of holiday vibes in the end of year. But then I just start at the same time blaming myself of not. We can't do that. There's a lot of readings. I'm taking EMDR, and there's like I'm doing like a research other place. There's a lot of article that I need to read. Yeah, but like there's also another part is debating that it's the end of year, it's holiday.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Then we can have some predictions, right? This whole 10 months, there will be times you feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm late, or this video is just so crappy. I want to redo it. Or this this driven part is gonna show up. I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it good enough. And so now that we talked about it, I wonder if you can catch it sooner and recognize, oh, could this just be my answer trying to help me in some way? And wherever I am, this is a process, it's a learning process. Wherever I am, That's why I come to these meetings, even when you are late or even when you don't get to record for a month, you still show up for the meeting, and you can, wherever you are is okay.
I'll try.
Or just having another, just a layer of awareness.
Yeah.
You're good at trying really hard. Another part I forgot, you didn't name it. It's hard for you to show weakness, right? To admit I'm maybe not good at this.
Yeah.
To be vulnerable. Then the flip side of that is you're good at keeping things together. Present yourself as, I know what I'm doing, competent. I wonder if some point it might show up too. Oh yeah, I did this, I already read this and all that, all prepared. Then what's the point of you coming here, right? That can
Yeah.
Can keep the learning or deeper learning from happening. And it probably helped you in the past. Yeah. So we'll stop there. Anything to add to this prediction, how you think your answers might show up?
I have a feeling that I need to update on my understanding of myself a little bit, because I still feel before doing the answer with you, I still feel that I'm not doing good enough and not growing enough in terms of like person or therapist. But like after going through the answers, the projections that you made, or like finding out maybe there's some patterns, I feel I actually do understand myself a lot better than before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just giving this process and giving myself some credits.
All right. Thank you for participating with me.
Thank you.
I'm noting the time. It's 10:13. How about we take a 7-minute break and come back at 10:20? Okay? I'm gonna unpin you. Where did I remove pin? Come on. Zoom got so complicated. What will be the next? It's either Lyla be my therapist or Young be Lila's therapist.
I can go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So welcome, Liz, and I will ask you some questions. So we will find out what you are good at, and I will look for patterns and take guesses. Are you okay to go now? Okay. So, what are you most proud of?
uh, continued growth as a person.
Then what's difficult for you to do?
To rest, to think I'm enough. I've done enough. I'm enough.
Okay. And what do you do under stress?
I do more, usually, or when I'm not quite aware.
And how do you handle extreme pressure?
I think I'm usually calm and just handle it. Like extremely focused on whatever need to be done.
Okay. And how are you with the deadline?
Always been a procrastinator. And it's getting better, and more of like if things I really want and want to be done, or I enjoy doing, I more now get to do it on my own timeline.
Okay. And how do you get your way?
By getting it myself. Yeah.
Then is it easy for you to say no?
Not as much now, but used to be.
Do you cry easily?
Yes. Tears come very easily.
And what do you do when you are upset?
I can get angry, loud.
And do you cry in front of others?
I do. I don't really care much who's in front of me.
Okay.
Or my peers don't care.
Then would you call yourself a rule follower?
No. Yeah. Well, I follow most of the everyday rules, but yeah, I can be kind of defiant and challenge rules quite often.
Okay. And how do you deal with the conflict?
I confront almost. Yeah, I'm not afraid of conflict. It might just bring out the fighter in me.
In an emergency situation, what are you likely to do?
It's similar to extreme pressure. Yeah, I just handle do whatever needs to do to be done. Really hyper focused. Take charge.
Okay. Is it easy for you to ask for help?
No, and it's more of like I don't think I need help. Yeah, a lot of times I'm not aware I need help.
Okay. And is it easy for you to ask for help? Sorry, is it difficult for you to accept help?
Similarly, just it's not that I feel bad about accepting help, but it's more of like, oh, I don't need it. Go help others.
Okay. And how convincing are you?
I can be really convincing, but if I get emotional, like really angry or upset, like just yeah, loses my logic, I guess, to be
Mm.
very convincing.
Okay, so when you are angry, you lose lose your logic, then you will not be convincing in that way.
Yeah, I can be loud, but not necessarily coherent or yeah, making good, coherent arguments.
Okay, I see. And what are you likely to do when someone tells you no?
I try to get them say yes, and if I can't, then I try to prove them wrong.
Mm. And how do you handle negative feedback or criticism?
Yeah, I used to take it quite personally and feel really defensive, but over time become more just able to see where they're coming from and both perspectives and understand, okay, what I can do differently or I don't need to do differently, and that's okay.
Okay, thank you. And remember, you said you used to be easy to say no, and now you said it's not right now. Like,
No, not easy to say no. It's easier now.
okay, mm, just want to
Hmm.
confirm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then,
I used to be like, yes, 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 I can do this, I can do this, I can do it all. I will find a way to do it all.
okay, I see. And now, I will take a moment to look for patterns, and then I will take a guess. So it's only guesses. You can correct me in any way if you feel it's not quite accurate. And um, just
Oops. So yeah, it's offline, but it's okay. This is recorded. She can review this later too.
okay.
Hope she comes back soon.
Mm. So it sounds like you are good at um, taking care of things going around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you are really like focused on personal growth and personal development. And also, I feel that you're um, you will feel good when things are in control, and um, you're really like hardworking and both almost everything, and not only like personal growth, but also career wise. And I can see that um, you are um, very conscious of what's going on, and trying your best to handle everything. And um, I wonder if it's hard to get supports from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I can do on my own, and at a point feel resentful. Where is the other people, right? You know, nobody is working as hard as I am, or yeah,
yeah.
spot
I
on.
mean, yeah, and I was wondering if it's hard for you to trust other people's their ability to help.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and as you just mentioned, if you're really good at making things happen, and you're such a big doer,
Mm-hmm.
and um, but I wonder if there's gonna be times for you to feel tired, and I just curious about like what you do like when you feeling vulnerable. Like I wonder like when you get close to pain, um, I wonder if you have a proper way or enough of resources to again to be properly supported, at least in a way that you think that
Mm-hmm.
are properly peppered or taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also wonder, like,
Can
is
I?
it?
Would you
Yes.
like me to comment on that?
Sure.
Yeah, in the past, when I'm tired and exhausted, I just become more irritated and frustrated. I want to do more, or I hope others can step up, but I resent the fact that everything is on me. Then I
Mm,
get angry easily instead
mm,
of just to feel I'm tired. I just need rest and ask for support and help.
mm,
And I have such high standard for myself and for everything, then I feel no one is doing as efficiently or the right way as I am. So I'm not very good at delegation. Yeah. So then I end up doing everything and I resent.
mm. And I also wonder, like, is it hard for you to play,
Yeah.
to have fun?
Yeah.
Mm,
I can. I've had a good childhood, yet when I'm in that stressed mode,
mm,
like people trying to make a joke, I can get offended or
mm,
I can't. I'm in that space. My head is not relaxed to be open to a joke or play. What do you mean about play? So much work, right?
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
When I'm in a different state, I can, but when I'm stressed out,
mm,
difficult
mm,
to appreciate rest and yeah,
mm,
play.
mm,
Great insight.
mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that's mostly that I observe, and also like I wonder if what you feel like uh, when it's like you can feel that that's enough, that I am enough.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's been a work in progress, right? So it's been easier to
mm,
recognize I'm tired. I just need to sit down and breathe
mm,
or ask for help, practice a lot. And now I have a different relationship with my body and my signals of tiredness. I can just, okay, stop doing and
mm,
be, or go running, or running is active, but some meditation, yoga. When I get to catch myself, I do have alternatives now.
mm. good.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that's mostly I can get here.
Mhm.
And uh, well, well, just out of this questionnaire, I was thinking like, is that sort of like a pattern? Like you do a lot, and then you got like irritated either by others or like blaming them, and then you ended up to do more
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
fix it, and then you
Yeah.
got like so it's like a circle.
Exactly. We create what we hate.
Yeah, that,
Young, it's okay if you missed that. You can review this part. It's recorded.
Okay, thank
mm,
you.
But Lila had some really good point. Would Lila, could you maybe just summarize what you concluded about my answer with Xiang?
Yeah. So we sort of like got these patterns, and then we found really many good things about this. And then for example, she works really hard. She take personal growth very seriously, like when she's trying to handle like everything, and she's very like strong and responsible and in many things. But we find probably it's hard for her to reach out and trust other people's abilities, and also probably it's hard for her um, to play and enjoy and really like, okay, this is enough for me, and I am enough, I am good enough. And when we are looking for patterns, like Liz mentioned, that okay, sometimes like when I notice that I'm doing a lot and other people is not helping or they are not able to help, and I got upset and blaming them and end up to do more, and then it's like vicious circle. And but Liz has many resources and she's handling it better for sure. But still, like we were talking about, like just when you log in, like we create our own vicious circle of suffering.
Hmm,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Um, any predictions in our work together? 10 months is kind of a long journey.
Oh, with the
How my
connections.
answer might show up.
Um, I would, well, if I would had to take a guess, I would think, when, like, for example, like when I do something, um, but at least you know the answer. You know, oh, that's not the correct way to do it. You probably uh, got very like, okay, I really want to teach her. I want her to do the right, but okay, I need to be patient. Okay, and probably that is gonna be one of the ways that your answer will show you.
Mhm.
And then, um, but this is could be one that I can think of now.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. That's really holding back my urges to give you everything I know. But
Yeah.
it's different now. I know you can get there, and that's going to be more powerful when you make mistakes and go through it, and really the light bulb lights up for you. That's the most powerful learning. It's not me just stuffing things down in you. So I need to remind myself of that. And that's really spot on.
Mm,
Another maybe it's related. Right? I was really self-critical of myself, and
mm,
I can be critical of others
mm,
and I lose sight of that. Everyone is doing their best. I am doing my best. It's just a difficult, challenging process and some really hard concept to grasp and takes practice and takes time. And that compassionate, our principle, compassionate assumption that everyone, even when your answer shows up to help, that's the best you knew how. So take a step back to appreciate. Yeah, great predictions.
Don't worry, like if you want to tell directly, and I will really appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the most beautiful thing is now we don't have to point finger at your answer. I can reflect on my experience when I catch my oh, I'm noticing I'm really leaning forward and trying to get something in your head. All right, place your hand this way, do it this way. Oh, I'm not noticing. I think I'm guessing my answer is here, big. And we can all become more aware. And those moments when one person's answer is big, oftentimes that triggers the other person's answer big. I'm trying to do exactly what you were telling me, or whatever. I wonder if we should call
Xiang?
Xiang. Do you have her? I didn't put in my phone. I can find out from the contract. If you have her number, can you just call her?
Sure.
See if she could, if her internet has problems, see if she could just log in from her phone.
Xiang，你那边怎么了？网不好吗？你要是那个网不好，你用手机登。好，啊，行，那你试一下，要是不行的话，你是要不就手机。
来了。
好，拜拜。
Mhm.
She's changing to line.
Hi, hello. I'm so sorry.
Hi.
The network just got down. So
It happens.
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Are you ready to do the answer with Lyla?
Yes, okay. I would just need a moment to pull back the question.
Yeah. Yeah, take your time.
Liz, when I do the research, they say there are other ways to deal with the trauma. Like, you said you did some continuing studies. Like, are there any other study or other treatments that you would suggest?
The model I use mostly is Safe EMDR. I did pick up. Well, I'm a big fan of the polyvagal theory. I use that to guide my work with the client. So the model actually is Safe EMDR, but I'm also a big nerd with the neuroscience stuff. So I have prepared for a webinar. I'm maybe gonna deliver it in January or February of Safe EMDR explained through polyvagal theory and neuroscience. If you yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna be through PTI.
Mm.
So those inform my work, and I do also through the polyvagal lens. Dr. Stephen Porges has developed a powerful tool, the Safe and Sound protocol, that you
Mm.
can look up. I can say more next time.
Yeah.
But the main model is the
Mm.
Safe EMDR.
I'm ready.
Pin you, pin both of you. Go ahead.
Hi, Lyla. So today we'll begin the EMDR process, and the first phase would be we'll go through some answers or the answer process. So usually it's something that is the way how we deal with our daily life, how we handle things,
Mm.
and also sometimes maybe how we handle stressful situations. So there's no right or wrong answers. It's just a process of letting us know a little bit more about you, and also know a little bit more about sometimes when we are close to stressful moments or painful moments, what might come up, so that later on in our therapy process, we can identify them. And we already know that they might happen. They're going to surface at those times. Okay. Um, so I'll ask you some questions, and as you listen to those questions, just let me know the first thing that come to your mind. Okay.
Mm.
So what are things that you most proud of?
Um, that I am good at finding new opportunities and my curiosities. I always like to try new things.
Mm. What is difficult for you to do?
Uh, I will say um, mm, many things, like to be um, like work, continuing work under like extreme pressure.
Mm.
Mm.
What do you do under stress?
Um, I would just drive around. Mm.
Mhm. How do you handle extreme pressure?
Yeah, it's similar to the second question. I would say like it's mainly about um well, I will handle extreme pressure like sort of well. I will calm myself down. I will talk sense to me, and then do my best to handle situations. And um, I guess, okay, the second question is sort of wrong. It's like when things got easy, and then I tend to procrastinate. Okay.
So, um, you mean when the second question is what is difficult for you to do?
Mm.
So, is it that do you want to clarify with that with your answer to that question?
Yeah.
Can you share that with me again?
Well, it's like when things are really easy in my mind, then I just don't want to put a lot of efforts in it, and then tend out procrastinating, and that
Mm.
would be like difficult for me to do it for the simple tasks, it's kind of difficult for me to do it right away.
Mm. So you mean when things are easy, then you tend to kind of procrastinate.
Yes.
And yeah, so that is something that is difficult for you to do. It's to do the easy things right away.
Yes.
And just make sure I understand the question about how you handle extreme pressure. You said you will like calm yourself down.
Yeah.
And then, is there anything else?
Uh, no, that's just what I said. Like talk sense to me and then try my best to handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how are you with deadlines?
I always finish before deadline. Like,
Mm.
but if it's like I'm motivated, then I will do it right away, like in the beginning. And sometimes either it's gonna be too difficult or just too easy, then I will drag along, but still I will finish before deadline.
And how do you get your way?
Um, I will try to convince this person, like um, like targeted convincing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to say no?
Uh, yes, but I will do it in a very gentle way to say no. I will
Mm.
decorate the no a lot.
Oh. Mm. Do you cry easily?
Yes,
What do you do when you are upset?
just cry.
Do you cry in front of others?
Yes, but really depends on the relationship.
Mm. Would you call yourself a rule follower?
Yes, but only to those rules that making sense. Like I would like everyone to follow the rule of stop their cars in front of the red light.
Mm. Um, how do you deal with conflict?
Um, I would say it's okay, and I will fight, and also I will try to listen. I'd say it's better nowadays.
Mm. In an emergency situation, what are you likely to do?
I will likely freeze.
Mm. Is it easy for you to ask for help?
Yes, but only to those people I think they are already experienced and professional. And otherwise, like I don't think other people's, if they don't really know, and there's no point to ask them.
Mm. Is it difficult for you to accept help?
Not really.
How convincing are you?
I could be very convincing.
What are you likely to do when someone tells you no?
I'll be upset for sure. But normally when I put a request on people, I will already like be readiness to have a no. So I will first prepare myself and then do things. So when I actually get a no, I will still be upset, but won't be like overreact in a way.
Mm. And how do you handle negative feedback or criticism?
Well, I used to be really upset. I will fight back, but now like I got too many, and then so I just like chill. Like,
Mm. Okay, so that was our last question. And now I would take some time to review your answer and I will make some guesses. And these guesses would be from reviewing your answer to see what might be things that you do well and what might be some things that you can continue to develop more. And it's also very important for you to feedback on whether the guesses are accurate for you and to expand a little bit more, to elaborate a bit more. And if even though it's like it's not accurate, it's still very important to let me know so that I can understand you a bit more and it helps to facilitate the therapy process following.
So Young, can I pause us for now? I want to honor our scheduled time. We have just about 2 minutes before the end of our meeting. Can I, if you two both have time, I can make you the host, one of you the host to continue to finish this portion. If not, you can schedule a time for you to start meeting and practice to finish this portion in your own recording.
sure.
Okay, so this is great. We got around all, so I got a sense of your answers. You also got a practice and understand some of my answers. So we get to really understand each other a little better. Right? This is the model, and the answer questionnaire can get us deep pretty fast, right? So next for this month's practice, because it's the kind of the holiday season, I encourage you to figure out a time to meet right away or as, get it figured out before you lose track of time. So I encourage you, since we did this triangle way, I encourage you to still use the answer, that supplementary worksheet, to kind of wonder out loud with each other. And maybe use either character type or the arrows, one of them. You can pick one to kind of make some prediction, kind of expand on layers of each other's answers and make prediction as you work with this client, how the client answer might show up in the reprocessing session, right? When they're getting close to pain. So then decide, based on the answer, decide what kind of resources you want to experiment with. It's an experiment, not having a goal set that we want to get you relaxed or we want to do it. We can try and see how you respond to it. The recommendation is you want to at least have one state shift resource that will help the client at the end of each session to shift out of dysregulation back to regulation. However, which one you can practice several, but or you kind of get to know what works with the client system. Examples are like container, pendulation, spiral, light stream, safe calm place, or just a somatic. Or with kids, I play a game. We start dancing to music. So you kind of want to think about that realm, state shift. Another one, relational. In this relationship with each other, if it's difficult to show vulnerability, or if it's difficult to say no, to stop, I don't want to go processing this today, or is there some boundaries or these relational that you can experiment? So those things happen because we carry our past, and our past is showing up in the present. I still can't say no to my therapist, even though the therapist is paid to work with me, right? Mm-hmm. To kind of start to have more safety in this relationship, to predict you can get transparent or honest feedback, authentic feedback. So think about state shift and relational. So that'll be your practice. Continue to expand the answer, conversation, and you can go a little bit wondering, I wonder how you became good at that. You don't have to dig into the history at this point, but just starting to have a little compassionate assumption. You're good at this. I wonder if this was helpful in the past, right? So that's all. And if you have any questions as you upload the video, generate the transcript. The transcript is for me to see, can have a really quick glimpse through your practice and want to locate the video more efficiently. I don't have time to review the whole video.
Where we upload?
I recommend YouTube. I know most, like the familiar is to me is YouTube, but there is a whole document I sent attachment to your second email. Figure out the steps. And YouTube might take some hours before the automatically generated transcript to be available. And because of, English is our second language, it can take some time for you to kind of correct some of the errors as you review. Okay. 3 things to submit 4 days before our next meeting, which is January 9th. The video link, it's unlisted, so nobody else get access unless they have the link. Transcript, put into a Word document or text document attached to it, then the reflection form. Any questions? Yeah.
So I'm so sorry to
No.
interrupt this. I actually start my work at 11.
Yeah.
So
Oh my, sorry.
I
Yeah.
do need to go.
Okay.
So I'll follow up in an email if I have any question. I'm so sorry.
No. I want to do better next time with our time. Okay. Yeah. Take care. See you in January.
See you.
Mm-hmm.